Hello there. In today's video, I want to share about a concept known as restless leg syndrome. So basically, what is restless leg syndrome? Restless leg syndrome is a situation in which you always have this sudden urge to move your legs whenever mostly whenever you're in bed. You'll always have this urge to always move your legs, and you'll always find that you're finding it uncomfortable to sleep, or whenever you are sitting for long hours, especially you're at work and you're sitting on a table or a bench, you find that you have this always urge to move your legs. You're always uncomfortable. You can't have a suitable sitting position. Especially it happens if you have sat for a long time. So most people don't know what normally causes this. Some might think it's something concerning calcium deficiency or something like arthritis, and they're having a problem with their knee joints. But most of the time, that is not usually the case. The case is usually because there's an underlying deficiency that is happening in your body, and this underlying deficiency is normally affecting your nervous system with the muscles of the leg, in the sense that there's uncoordinated movement between your muscles being controlled by the nervous system. You remember your muscles, there's the involuntary nervous system and the voluntary nervous system. So there's that disconnection that is happening with the control of your muscles, specifically of the leg, and it's normally caused by a deficiency. And in this video today, I will be able to help you identify what this deficiency is and how you can treat it, and what could be probably causing this deficiency, of which most of us are not aware. So this is something that is normally affecting majority of the population. Whenever you're at the workplace, you'll find that certain people, whenever they have sat for long, especially if you work in an office, whenever they have sat for long, they have all of a sudden they're uncomfortable with their sitting position, and they have to walk and stand and move around because they're having this urge in their legs, this urge to move within their legs, and it's causing them uncomfortability. Or if you have a partner and you're sleeping in the same bed with them, you always find they're shifting their legs in their bed, and it's kind of involuntary. It's not something that they want to do, but they're being forced to do it because there's this breakdown in the movement in the connection between the nervous system and the muscles. So this deficiency is normally caused by a vitamin B1 deficiency. I hope you get that clear. It's a vitamin B1 deficiency. Reason being, vitamin B1 is normally used to be able to control that autonomic response between the muscles and the nervous system. So there's a breakdown of communication, and you're finding this, the muscles are just moving involuntarily because there's not that coordinated communication between the nervous system and the muscles. So if you could look at this at here, the cause is normally a vitamin B1 deficiency. And the causes that what is really causing the vitamin B1 deficiency, number one is that you have a very low intake of vitamin B1. All right, a very low intake of vitamin B1, and this could be probably because of the second cause. You are consuming a lot of sugar and processed carbs. Remember, vitamin B1 is not found in sugar and it's not found in processed carbs. Actually, the more you process food, the more you are losing the B vitamins. The B vitamins are mostly found in natural foods. The lesser the food is processed, even a processing action like just taking your meals to the miller, that reduces as percentage of B vitamins, but it's not much as the one that has been taken to a factory. So mostly you find that B vitamins are in very low concentration in processed foods. That's why you'll find these foods that are processed like maize flour, they always have to be fortified with B vitamins because they are very easily lost during the process of processing the maize to get maize flour itself. So number one is that you're having a very low intake of vitamin B1, and that is caused by you consuming a lot of sugar and processed carbs. Processed carbs like the white maize flour, white rice, a lot of wheat, especially. So it's mostly the cereals which will be processed, like the breakfast cereals like Weetabix, cornflakes. Those types of processed carbs will always lead to that vitamin B1 deficiency, and consuming a lot of sugar. Why does sugar cause this vitamin B1 deficiency? One, it doesn't have it, and number two, even though we can be able to store vitamin B1, if it's in excess, sugar depletes the stores of vitamin B1. So you'll always have, whenever you have this high intake of sugar, the amount of vitamin B1 goes very low. The amount goes, it just plummets in the body. So, and then the number three cause is you are consuming a lot of foods that are fortified with vitamin B1, which is synthetic. Remember also, when you are consuming the synthetic form of vitamin B1, you can also experience this deficiency because you will be exhausting the natural source, and the body doesn't have anything to replenish because the body cannot use the synthetic form. It has to get the active state, which is the natural one. So those are the three major causes of the vitamin B1 deficiency, which will obviously lead to the restless leg syndrome. So how do you fix it? So for you to be able to fix it, you have to fix first of all the intake. So which food is very rich in vitamin B1? That is nutritional yeast. And this is not like the normal baker's yeast or the brewer's yeast. This is an inactive form of yeast that you normally buy, and it's a bit costly. I think it's around 1200 shillings the last time I checked at Health U. But this could be help someone who is constantly experiencing this problem, and I find it's more grievance, or it's more pronounced among the elderly, because they have had this long history of consuming a lot of processed carbs, especially the processed maize flour. I'm emphasizing that because those are the culprits, okay? And also because they have had this time during their youth in which they also consumed a lot of processed food, especially with the modernization and the chemicalization of food nowadays. So the other one is pork. Pork is the other richest source of vitamin B1. A lot of people might find this awkward to take pork actually, but I found it because I also had this problem I think last year, from last year up to from last year I had this problem before I fixed it last year around May, because I fixed it at around May. But I had this problem and I never knew why. I had removed all sugar, but I was wondering why I'm constantly having this problem. But to be able to fix it, I used to take pork at least twice a week, and it could fix it because I was now replenishing my vitamin B1 source. And that aspect that I did was to remove processed carbs from my diet. So for me to be able to fix it, I had to take at least a 2-month break in which I never took anything related to processed carbs. That even included processed maize flour from the factory. Okay, so it was a 2-month break in which I never ate any form of ugali, any chapatis, any mandazis. It was just basically, as in there was no wheat products, no rice, and no ugali. I was just taking sweet potatoes and arrows, and I was doing this because I wanted to fix this problem, because I had realized it's my high intake of carbs, and I was taking this high intake of carbs because that time was working out. But once I was able to remove this for at least 2 months, I realized that the problem just went away naturally. It just disappeared like that, and I didn't have to always buy pork every week to be able to fix it, because now my body was able to replenish its stores, because I was sourcing it now from the natural foods like the sweet potatoes. It was now getting it naturally. Unlike when you're taking, because as I've said, B vitamins get quickly exhausted, or they are in low quantities in processed food, even as simple as taking your meals to the milling flour. But that's better than down from the factory. And then from the one from the factory has to be fortified for you to be able to get the B vitamins. And that's what I'll say as my point number 4: avoid fortified foods. I'm emphasizing avoiding fortified foods because most factories are not honest with the type of fortification they are doing. Are they using the synthetic vitamin B1, or the active form of vitamin B1 when they are fortifying? If they're using the synthetic form of vitamin B1, you'll find that you're having this restless leg syndrome always magnified whenever you're having this food. Let's say you're taking your breakfast cereal and it has been written fortified with vitamin B1, and you take it and then realize that it's worse. You cannot even sit, you cannot even. I had this problem actually while still in campus, where I had bought some packets of maize flour and they were a bit cheap, of which that made me now, whenever I have to buy maize flour in case I'm having visitors or anything, I have to go for a brand that has been there for a long time. Because with the newer brands, you're not sure if they're using the right type of fortification, and sometimes it's just better to do away with it. If for you have a chronic, it's chronic for you in the sense that you're always having this restless leg syndrome, to take a break from fortified foods completely, and then maybe you can go for the ones you feel you're safe with them, because most are not honest with the fortification they're doing. So number 4, just avoid fortification foods, especially if you are having it chronically. It's like disturbing you day in and day out. If you are really a fan of ugali, just take your maize and mill it in the local portion mill rather than from the factory. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it helped someone, and be blessed.